We're doing FaceTime today with Tina Varughese, who is the president of CAPS, which is the Canadian Association of Professional Speakers. Thank you for joining us today.
You're more than welcome.
I was recently invited as a guest, and I was completely blown away at how awesome it was. I mean, people have this perception of what it means to be a public speaker, and it was so awesome to see everybody come together as a group and do your Super Saturday. Everybody there was fantastic. And you invited Maxwell to do a talk as well. So we'll talk about Gare in just a second. Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and what your story is and how the power of stories worked for you?
My story. So I am expert in cross-cultural communication. And when I first started, and probably even now, the perception of understanding cultural differences, not really sexy. And I had really fun titles of my keynotes, such as cross-cultural communication. And then I upped my game and changed it to cross-cultural awareness, and then really took it a step forward and changed the title to cross-cultural communication 101. And it wasn't until I reinvented and adapted and really embraced my truth. I like to have a lot of fun on stage, and I like to have a lot of fun with my audiences, and I wanted to sexy it up. I wanted to sexy this topic up, and so I reinvented, I suppose, in 2014 and launched 50 Shades of Beige, Communicate with the Cross-Cultural Advantage.
Right.
And I really found, just by embracing my truth, embracing my passion, which is really teaching people in a really fun, relevant manner, that's what helped me tell my story.
And you guys invited Gare to come and be a speaker, and tell us about that.
So Gare is a professional speaker as well, and he was on our hit list. We bring in a lot of speakers throughout Canada and the United States, and that's why guests are always welcome. They might as well take advantage of these amazing people. And Gare Maxwell is a completely charismatic individual, and he told his own story of I believe it was titled The Reinvention Code. And there's no question, what I love about Gare is he's very authentic and he's very funny. He uses a lot of Seinfeld references, which I absolutely love. And I just think it's so great when you can implement some humor in your talks and make it relevant for people. And I think people were really jazzed after he spoke. Definitely, we had a little bit of a lineup of people buying his book and hearing more of what he had to say. He did some really creative things with videos, and he was showing us how you could use video in such a creative capacity. In fact, he forced me to do my very first Facebook Live video right after our Super Saturday, and he put me on the spot. Yeah, well, and you know the thing, I told Gare, because I'm like, I'm nervous, Gare, I'm nervous. But he's like, why are you nervous? You're a professional speaker. And I said, because I don't have a filter, and this is live. So that's why I was nervous, and that was very fair.
And it's funny, deep down inside, people don't want people to have filters. They want the real you. Tina, who do you think should come and see Gare next week? If somebody's kind of on the fence, wondering if they should go see Gare, what do you think they need to know that they're going to get out of Gare's talk?
You know, I think it can the beauty of a great talk is it can motivate you or inspire you both personally and professionally. So you might be at the top of your career. You might be a CEO, a CFO, a C, and really find application, but you might be changing careers. You might be in a crossroads. And I think that's when I think as we get older, especially, we start to look at reinventing ourselves and adapting and changing. And I think if you don't adapt, you're going to really miss the boat at the end of the day. So, you know, I find that we do things the same way because it's the only way that we know how to. So I think when you go to a talk like this, you start to look at the world in a different capacity. And I think that's what's important about it. And I think there's inspiration even just from who else is in the room. You know, I'm a big believer of collective. And so there's a lot of collective, you know, greatness that you can absorb just from meeting all the people in that room. I know that the event is at Cardell Theatre, which is a fabulous theater that we have here in Calgary. I've had events there myself. great facility. So it's a great place to actually get together as a community and be inspired.
Awesome. Thank you, Tina. I appreciate you talking to us.
You're so welcome, Christina. I hope you come out to CAPS again.
I know. I'm going to be there. I'll see you there.
Good.